Hi, I'm Lori McGraw, the Resource Rundown. So today we're going to be talking about grading with Google Classroom. There are many features that you can use within Google to grade that make it easy and effective. And that's what as teachers like, right? So one is to be able to use rubrics and then also comment banks, originality reports, and if you use quiz assignments, those will auto grade for you and translate the grades over. Like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything coming up. And we're going to get started on grading with Google Classroom right now. Before you start grading in Google Classroom, you need to go in and adjust your settings. So we're going to start there. You're going to go to your settings. And then once you're in your settings, you're going to scroll all the way down to where it says grading. And when you're in grading, so you can see where it says grade calculation, overall grade calculation, no overall grade. So in this, if you want your students to be able to see their grades, you need to adjust this so that they can see it. And you want to determine if you want them to see it by points or if you want them to see by weighted grades. I do weighted grades, so I'm going to adjust the weighted grade setting. Then you can say show overall grade to students. Yes, because I want them to be able to see their grades. If you don't want them to be able to see their grades, you just want to be able to use the grading feature yourself, you would leave that turned off. So then we're going to go to add grade categories. And so this is where you're going to add your grading categories. So for today, I'm only going to put 2 in here for your benefit. Normally I have 4 different grading categories, but to keep it simple today with what I'm doing, I'm only going to put 2 in there. So the first one is going to be writing. And I'm going to put that, we'll just say 60%. And then the next category, I'm going to put in tests and quizzes. And I'm going to make that 40%. And you can see that down here it shows right here that I have 40% remaining to put in. So we'll put that 40% in and you can see now it says 0. And you could add more categories if you want to. But again, for today, this is where we're going to stay. Once you've done that, you need to go back up and hit save. So now we're back to our main page. So now we want to actually create a rubric. So we're going to go into an assignment that I've already created and we'll create a rubric in there. To do that, we're going to hit classwork. And I'm going to go to my paragraph right, the telltale heart. And I want to edit this. So I'm going to go to the 3 little dots right here and select edit. And that's where it's going to take me back in to my original assignment where I can edit the assignment that I gave to the students. I want to add a rubric. So I'm going to hit this little plus sign and you have the option to reuse a rubric. So if you select this, it'll let you go to a class and an assignment that you created a rubric for and reuse it from there. We're not going to do that today because I want to show you actually how to create the rubric. So we're going to create the rubric here. But you also have this import from sheets. And I don't use the import from sheets. And the reason why I don't use the import from sheets is because you still have to create the rubric in there. So you might as well create it here. To me, it's easier. So we're going to create the rubric. And so then once we're in this rubric, we want to use this to score. So this, you can sort it by points. You want it ascending or descending. We'll just start with descending. That means it'll start with the highest score, so like a 4, and then it'll go down to a 1 or a 0, wherever you leave off. So here is your criterion title. So what is the title that you're going to give this particular criteria right here? We're going to call this a topic sentence. Okay, and then you could give a description for this if you wanted to right here. For today, we're not going to do this. But then we're going to say points. And so we're going to say this is going to be 4 points. And 4 points means that this is above grade level. And then you could give a description for it. Okay, now that we've created that, we're going to add the next level, which is this would be our 3, right? And we're going to say this is at grade level. And then you would add your description. So now we're going to add our next level. This is going to be 2. And so we've created our first level of criteria, right? So now we're going to go to the next one. So we're going to add another criteria, and this is where we go right here, add. Okay, and it's going to scroll down, and we're going to say, okay, this is supporting details. So, and then we just continue from there. Okay, so now we're back to, I've completed this. I did add another point here for a 0 for an incomplete, no topic sentence. I added one to each one, not enough to score, because we all have those that there's just not enough to score, and we need to be able to allow for that. So I've added that in there. So our rubric is finished. Okay, so we have all the pieces in here. The rubric is finished. So once we're finished, we come up here to where it says save, and we're going to hit save. And when that does that, it's going to take us back out to our assignment, and it's going to show our rubric right here. Okay, so now another little piece that we want to look at is this check plagiarism. So Google has added the originality checker. So if we click on this, it'll add an originality report to our assignment. Now you can see in here, you can enable originality reports on 3 assignments per class. So if you have, like this particular class I've created, my demo class, I can only use 3 originality reports within each class that I've created. So remember that, 3 originality reports, only 3 per class. So to get around that, you're going to want to create multiple classes. Like, so maybe you have, if you use the same classroom all year round, maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want to create a class for each quarter. So that's something to think about, because then that would give you 3 per quarter to use. And we'll get into originality reports in a little bit when we get in the assignment, and I'll show you what those look like. So anyway, we're going to say continue, and we're going to move forward. So now we're done with this assignment. We're ready to go. The only thing left is to add a due date. We'll just say this is going to be due tomorrow. Okay, so now before we save this assignment, we also need to come up here. It says grade category. So this is where we're going to add the category. This is a writing category. So we're going to select writing. Okay, and so then once we've done that, that'll put it in that grading category of writing, which is 60% of their grade, and we're going to hit save. And then once we do that, it pops us back out to our main page. Okay, so now we're ready to grade this assignment. So we're going to go ahead and go into that assignment and grade it. So we're going to select View Assignment. So as you can see from this page, we have, here's me, and we're going to select me, click on it, and you can see that the rubric that I put in pops up. Okay, so you can score from this page, but the only reasons necessarily that you might want to score from this page, it would be if you're scoring like a journal that's a physical journal that you're scoring, but you're using Google Classroom to do that. That might be an option, but typically if you've got student work, you want to go into the assignment to grade it, right? You don't want to be grading it from here without ever looking at the work. But you can enter the score right here, just manually, or you can use the rubric and you can score here. And when you put this rubric in there, students can use it as well. It doesn't affect their grade, it doesn't put a score in for them, but they can use it to kind of assess their own work. So that's a cool feature. We're going to actually open this assignment. So now, once we go in here, of course, I created a whole new Google Classroom under my business profile. So I haven't used it in this manner yet. So it's kind of got all those little tips and tricks for you. Anyway, so now we can see we've got an assignment. And I went in and did this earlier, and I created a little bit, but I plagiarized most of it so that we could see what the plagiarism checker looks like. But before we get to that point, you can see, oh, okay, I'm going to read this paragraph. And then I'm going to say, okay, this is a great introduction. You can highlight it. You can go to your little comment box right here, click on it. Okay. So highlight it, go to your little comments, your canned comments, and you can add to the comment bank right here. So you could click on add to comment bank, and we might say great starting sentence. And we're going to add that to our comment bank. So you can actually pre-create your comment bank if you want to. You don't have to wait till the assignment. But sometimes we have assignments, we don't know what the comments are going to be until we start getting into them. But you can pre-create your comment banks. But once you get in the assignment, you add your comment bank here, you highlight it, you're going to click the plus sign, you're going to hit the pound, and the pound will then pull up any comments in your comment bank. And if you have quite a few, then you can start the first letter of that comment and it'll pull that up. But we did great starting sentence, and we're going to add the comment. And then that makes adding those comments quick and easy. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our grading right here. And you can see that the rubric is down here. Okay, so we've created our comment. And now we're going to use this lovely little originality checker. So if you come up here, it says it has 2 flagged passages. So we're going to click on that. Of course, I plagiarized so that we could use this and look at it. So we're going to click on this. And now you can see where it says there's 2 flagged passages. It says 2 cited or quoted passages. It'll give you the count. It'll tell you the percent that is flagged as plagiarized. And then it'll tell you the web matches. And so it'll tell you where those are, and you can click on them and it'll take you right there. Okay, so that's the originality report and what that looks like. Now we want to score it. So we're going to pretend for this instance that I didn't plagiarize it and it was a decent paragraph, right? So now you come over here and you've got your rubric. And if you want to see what the description is, just click the arrow and it'll show you the description and the point values. Okay. But you can just use these little buttons here and say, okay, well, you know what? The introductory sentence was great. There was good supporting detail. I don't know if it was perfect, so we're going to say supporting detail. And I'm just going to go through here and randomly select these to show you. But as you notice right here, up here, it is putting the score in for you. So you don't actually have to total it yourself. It'll automatically score it as you go through. So we're going to, just say, okay, all of these things look really good. Okay, so now you can see that it put in a score of 85%. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can add a private comment as well to the student. I use comments for their work up here when I do the comments and canned comments. And then down here would be for the overall comments or discussion that I want to have with them about their work. So if they plagiarize this assignment, I might put a comment here telling them that is plagiarized and that they need to contact me. Or maybe I just say, before you can get a grade on this assignment, you need to contact me. So it'd be those types of things. Or, hey, great essay all around, loved it, or something like that. Once I'm finished, it automatically puts the score up here. Maybe I want to move to the next student. If there was another student, you could hit this little arrow right here and it'd take you to the next student. Once you can also use this arrow here and it'll show all of your students. Okay, once you're done scoring an assignment, you can come over here and you can click this little arrow and you can return this submission, or you can return all of them that you graded. You can do it from here. I usually like to go back out of the assignment and I would click out of it. and it would take me back to here, and then I would click on the people that I wanted to return the scores to, and I would hit return, return, and then it'll return them. I usually select it from there. It's a personal preference for me. Okay, so now once you've done that, we're going to go back out to our assignment. So we'll go back out to our classwork. Now I want to look at this part here where it says my story elements quiz. This is something that was done earlier. Okay, so I'm going to click on that and I want to view the assignment. So here, this student, me, already took this quiz. And so in this quiz now, if most everybody had taken it, you can see up here it says import grades. So you can select on import grades, and it says, are you sure you want to import the grades from Story Element Quiz? Yes, I do. So we're going to import grades. So now we've imported grades over, and it's come in here as 7 out of 8 points. So now I'm ready to return this assignment. So I'm going to hit return. I'm going to say return. And it's telling you that the student will be notified to check grades. Okay, so now I've returned that quiz assignment. Go back to our main page. So now the last part is if you want to look at all of your students and all of their scores at one time, you can come back to your main page and go here where it says grades and click on that. And as you can see, so of course I'm the only student, but as you can see, my overall grade right now is showing it as an 86%. So I had an 85 on the paragraph, and I had a 7 out of 8 on the test quiz, and it automatically created the percentages and gave an overall score. So if I had an assignment that was missing, it would show here as missing, or if anything that's not turned in yet, you just can look at every assignment for a student right here. You can score them through here, so you can go over to the assignment, you can hit the 3 little buttons, and you can say view submission and go in and score it from here as well. So this is kind of a handy tool when you want to look at your class as a whole, or if you want to look at one student easily and look at all of their work. So this last piece is, how does it look on the student end? What do they see when they go in to view their work and their grades? So this is where they're going to go. They're going to go right to their main page. They go to their classwork tab and then select view your work. And when you do that, it'll show them their assignments, the scores they got on them, and then their overall grade right here. You can also sort it by assigned, returned, and missing. So the features in Google Classroom really do make things much easier overall for you as a teacher, for students, even for parents with the Guardian summaries. Now, what I want to know is, what ways have you used Google Classroom grading? We've all kind of done different things and been creative. So what are some ways that you've used grading in Google Classroom? Leave a comment in the comment section down below with your ways that you've used grading and share them out with everybody. The features of Google Classroom really has taken the pain, or some of the pain, out of grading student work or assessing student work. If you liked my video, give me a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on anything, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.